Forrest Gump said that life is like a box of chocolates and you don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's not strictly true, because when you get a box of chocolates, you get this card that tells you what each chocolate is.
Right.
Life's not like that.
Oh mein Gott, der sieht ja aus, als hätte Pavarotti versucht.
Paul, after seeing this movie and getting to know your story, one can really say that your life is quite like an opera, isn't it?
It is quite dramatic at places.
So how was it for you when you saw it for the first time? Was it weird?
It was very strange. A few things made it strange. Watching James Corden's mouth move and my voice to come out of it was very strange. But also, it felt strange that anybody would want to make a movie about me. Initially, when they first suggested that, I kind of said, well, but I'm not dead yet. And because they usually wait till you're dead. But I'm really honoured that they did make a movie about me, and I loved it. And it's a funny movie, which is exactly how I wanted it to be. When I sat down with the producers, that was the only real instruction that I gave was, please make it funny.
You always loved classical music.
Mm-hmm.
So when others maybe had posters of Michael Jackson in their rooms as a child, did you have a picture of Pavarotti?
It wasn't just my room. When I was a child, I shared the room with two of my brothers, so there wasn't space for posters. But I would always be listening to Dvorak, Tchaikovsky, Brahms, Puccini. I'd listen to classical music all the time. I'd be on the bus listening to it on a cheap personal stereo. Well, they weren't in the 80s. They weren't that personal. You could hear what other people were listening to. So I'd sometimes get people come up to me and say, "Can you turn your violins down? We can hear it at the back of the bus." So I was seen as a bit of a strange boy, because I would listen to stuff that most people my age wouldn't even contemplate listening to.
Ich werfe eine Münze. Bei Kopf drücke ich auf Senden, bei Zahl vergessen wir das Ganze.
Gut.
I really want to know if you tossed a coin to decide if you're going to Britain's Got Talent.
Yes.
Really? You did that?
Yes, I did that, and I've often been asked if I kept the 10-pence piece. No, I didn't. No, I didn't have very much money, so I couldn't afford to save that 10-pence piece. I ended up using it for lunch the next day because I couldn't afford to save it, because I didn't think it was going to lead anywhere. I mean that the pop-up window came up. I tried to close it; it wouldn't go because I pressed the wrong button. And then I filled out the form, and I thought, well, why would they pick you? You're old for this kind of thing. Mid-30s isn't old, but it was old for this kind of thing. Fat, you do the wrong kind of music, and you've got such a great face for radio. Why would they pick you? And I could see no reason for them to choose me. So the entries closed next day, so I thought, well, I'll just get a 10-pence piece and flip the coin, and if it lands on heads, I'll apply. If it lands on tails, then I'll close it and not think about it again. And thinking back, that was putting quite a lot at stake on a 10-pence piece. But at the time, I actually thought there was no risk. I didn't think there was any risk. They picked me. So to me, it was just this way or that way. I don't mind. It's not going to come to anything. But looking back, that was one of the biggest turning points in my life, and I'm very glad now that it did land on heads.
Isn't it crazy how fate goes sometimes?
It is, but I think that I think a lot of people see fate as being something that does everything for you. I don't think it's like that. I think Forrest Gump said that life is like a box of chocolates and you don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's not strictly true, because when you get a box of chocolates, you get this card that tells you what each chocolate is.
Right.
Life's not like that. Life's really not like that. Life is very different, and I don't think fate does things for you. You basically, life's like, it's like the ingredients of a cake. You can have the perfect ingredients. You can be given the perfect ingredients, but if you don't put the ingredients together right, if you don't bake it right, it won't turn out very well. If you don't put enough baking powder in, the cake won't rise. If you cook it at too high a temperature, it will burn. If you cook it at too low a temperature, it will taste very nice. So you get given the ingredients in life. It's up to you to find the right ones, to put it together properly, and to work at it until you get it to where you want to be. But you can only do that by keeping going.
You fell down a couple of times in your life, and you always got up, and you are such a brave man, honestly. You really are.
I don't see myself as very brave at all, but...
Really, even not after seeing the movie? I mean, you had problems with bullying, right?
I've been through quite a lot in my life, and I've written the book, and there's more in the book than there can be fitted into the movie. And the period of my life in my teens was really very hard for me. But in a way, it's going through the bullying and the abuse that I went through in my teens. It taught me to just get from one day to the next, and that's helped me deal with life since, because now I just live each day as it comes, because you never know what's going to come next, and it taught me adaptability, which has been very useful for me.